Hello there, my lovelies. How are we doing? My name's Boomy and you're watching my channel, Boomy Reactions. Now today, guys, we're going to be watching some more of Mr. Rogers. So this is a little bit of a different video. This one has been requested through Buy Me a Coffee from Eric. Thank you, my lovely. Thank you for your support and thank you for requesting this video. So Eric says, hi, Boomy. I really love your reactions. Thank you. And sometimes you're better than what you react to. My fault. I'm not the best at scouring YouTube for decent videos, but they're entertaining enough. Sometimes there's probably better ones out there, yes, but I take requests. Absolutely. If you want to request any video, guys, please go for it. You might like reacting to the video 35 Facts About Mr. Fred Rogers from the YouTube channel Mental Floss. Now, I don't think I've seen any videos from this channel yet. So this is a new channel. Thank you, Eric. I would absolutely love to watch this video. I adore Mr. Rogers. I haven't seen an awful lot of him. And obviously, I didn't grow up watching Mr. Rogers, being across the pond. But from what I have seen, and guys, honestly, all of the clips I've seen from Mr. Rogers, they reduce me to tears, and it's happy tears. It's trying to explain these emotions as I'm watching these lovely Mr. Rogers clips. It's bizarre because it's the things that he says genuinely do speak to your inner child, wounded or not, and he's just a lovely man, a lovely human being. And he just radiates positivity and love. And that sounds really corny, I know. But he just seems like such a genuine, just amazing, lovely person. And the things that he teaches, which is, or was, I assume, more aimed at children. And it's just lovely. It's just, you feel like that's what your inner child wanted to hear or needed to hear, and it's beautiful. It absolutely, both videos I've watched up until now, guys, I'd say they've moved me to absolute tears. There was one point I was absolutely sobbing, and it's not because it's sad, it's because of just how lovely it is. Now I'm a little bit nervous about delving into the history of Mr. Rogers, because quite often, and I do hope he really is as genuine as I think he is, but quite often, we find these skeletons in closets from these people that we idolize and admire. So I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen, People like Dr. Phil, which I had no idea about. There's so many guys. So I've been really reluctant to look into Mr. Rogers. So fingers crossed, he's by all stretches of the imagination that he's just as nice as I think he is. So anyway, done an awful lot of, you know me. Let's watch the video. And as ever, guys, if you are enjoying these reactions, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much. It's so helpful for my channel, guys. Thank you. And if you're interested, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account, and that link is over here.
Hi, I'm John Green. Welcome to my neighborhood. This is Mental Floss, and today we're going to talk about Mr. Rogers, with whom I have a lot in common. By the way, thanks to copyright laws, that's the only picture of Mr. Rogers we can afford, so you'll be seeing a lot of it today. But yes, Fred Rogers and I have many similarities. We both considered becoming ministers. He actually did. Both happily married to women named Sarah, and we both make stuff for young people, although I don't think that his work has been banned from several dozen high schools in Tennessee.
Oh! Dare I? What does he make for young people? As soon as he said that, I was instantly thinking of bake sales and baked goods. I don't know why. I'm organic. I know, I'm greedy. Oh, that's odd, isn't it? He does have quite a lot in common with Mr. Rogers. Yes, I did see in one of the compilation videos, I'm sure he mentioned that he had wanted to become a minister, or did he? I don't know what training is involved for that profession, but I think he did it, didn't he? I think he'd be very well suited for that job.
Mr. Rogers was an Ivy League dropout. He completed his freshman year at Dartmouth and then transferred to Rollins College so he could get a degree in music. And he was an excellent piano player. Not only did he graduate from Rollins magna cum laude, but he wrote all of the songs on his show, as well as more than 200 other songs and several kids' operas, including one called All in the Laundry. Mr. Rogers
Oh my God, I've just bombarded with so much information that I didn't know. So he embarked on his training. What's a word? To become a minister, is that right? And he dropped out of Dartmouth, dropped out to pursue a degree in music. That is awesome. I had no idea. I don't think I've seen any clips of him playing piano, have I? He's got a lovely voice. I could listen to him sing all day. Oh my gosh. And when he gets the little kids on to sing with him, oh, I'm even thinking about him tearing up. Oh, it's lovely. So he wrote all of the songs. You know, those songs, they come from a good heart. They have to.
Decided to get into television because when he saw it for the first time, he, quote, hated it so. When he turned on a set, all he saw was angry people throwing pies in each other's faces, and he vowed to use the medium to make the world a better place. Over the years, he talked to kids about their feelings, covering topics as varied as why kids shouldn't be afraid of a haircut or the bathroom drain because you won't fit, to bigger issues like divorce and war. In the opening sequence of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, the stoplight is always on yellow. That's a reminder to kids and parents to slow down a little. Also, Mr. Rogers wasn't afraid of dead air time, unlike me. Once he invited a marine biologist and explorer onto his program to put a microphone into his fish tank because he wanted to show the kids at home that fish make sounds when they eat. However, while taping the segment, the fish weren't hungry, so the marine biologist started trying to egg the fish on, saying, "Come on, it's chow time, dinner bell." But Mr. Rogers just waited quietly. The crew thought,
oh, I can see it. I can wholeheartedly believe that. He's just so well-rounded. He's so level-headed, down to earth. And I very much get the impression that Mr. Rogers was so comfortable in his own company. Not only that, but he seems quite comfortable so comfortable in other people's company that the silence is comfortable as well. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's maybe the TV persona that I've seen, but he just seems like such just a calming presence, you know? Yeah, just calming, soothing as well. And it doesn't look as though that persona changes when he's not recording. You know, I've seen the recording of him. Oh gosh, what was it? What were they trying to do? Secure funding, I think, for his program. And yes, it was televised, but I don't know. He just seems like this, not character, very much himself. He seems so genuine just all the time.
he'd want to retape it, but Mr. Rogers just kept it to show kids the importance of being patient. Fred Rogers was a perfectionist, and so he disliked ad-libbing. He felt that he owed it to children to make sure that every word on his show was thought out. But here at Mental Floss, we love ad-libbing because it's much less work. In a Yale psychology study, when Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood went head-to-head, kids who watched Mr. Rogers not only remembered more of the storylines, but their, quote, tolerance of delay, a fancy term for their ability to wait for promised treats or adult attention, was considerably higher. Mr. Rogers was also beloved by Coco the gorilla. You know, Coco, the Stanford-educated gorilla who could...
Oh, Coco the gorilla. This was in the last video that I watched. Again, just moved to tears. I don't think there's a single scene with Mr. Rogers in that I didn't tear up. Just because it's so lovely. And Coco just absolutely adored him. Was she particularly interested in his shoes? Do I remember that right? Just give him a big bear hug and oh, it's adorable.
Speak about 1,000 words in American Sign Language. She watched The Neighborhood, and when Mr. Rogers made a trip to meet her, she not only embraced him, but she did what she'd always seen him do on screen. She proceeded to take his shoes off. Those shoes were store-bought, by the way, but every one of the cardigans Mr. Rogers wore on his show was knit by his mother. Today, one of them resides...
Oh my gosh. I'm sold. I'm convinced. Mr. Rogers might be the nicest person that has ever walked the planet ever. All of his sweaters, all of his cardigans that he's worn are knitted by his mom. Oh, just that fact alone just makes me tear up.
In the Smithsonian, a red one. Mr. Rogers chose to donate that sweater because the cameras at his studio didn't pick up the color very well. Mr. Rogers can start to feel anxious and overwhelmed, and when he did, he liked to play the chords to the show's theme song on the piano on set in order to calm himself. The other way you could tell if he was exasperated, if he said the word mercy. Mostly, he said it when he got to his desk in the morning and the mountains of fan mail were a little bit too tall, but mercy was about the strongest word in his vocabulary. And yes, Mr. Rogers responded to every single piece of fan mail. He had the same routine every morning: wake up at 5 a.m., pray for a few hours for all of his friends and family, study, write, make calls, reach out to every single fan who took the time to write him, go for a morning swim, get on a scale, then start the day. My morning routine is a bit less ambitious than that. Mr. Rogers, I thought you were supposed to make me feel good about myself. You just made me feel terrible. But speaking...
Or does he make you feel slightly more like you need to be more productive? That is an incredibly productive first few hours of the morning. And he manages to fit in a swim. Again, I'm not surprised by those details, like feeling the need to correspond back to everyone that has taken the time out to write to him, because that's I imagine the volume of that correspondence was ridiculous, overwhelming for most people. He's just lovely. He's wonderful, isn't he? He really, really is so nice.
Of that daily weigh-in, Mr. Rogers watched his weight very closely, and he liked to weigh exactly 143 pounds. By the way, he didn't drink, smoke, or eat the flesh of any animal. Natch. Why did Mr. Rogers like the number 143?
Oh, was he vegetarian or vegan? Maybe, perhaps. Again, I'm not vegan or vegetarian, but you know, I love animals. Make of that what you will. I'd love to be able to. I have tried. I've been vegetarian for 3 years in the past. I struggle with it. Anyway, and Mr. Rogers, I'm not surprised that the strongest word in his vocabulary was mercy. So he was a non-cursor. He's quite the role model. I would hate to count how many times I curse a day. Yes, that might surprise you. Sometimes I have the mouth of a sailor. I should start a swear jar. But yes, I'm not shocked.
So much because it takes 1 letter to say I, 4 letters to say love, and 3 letters to say you, Jean-Luc Picard. Now it starts to get a little weird. So journalists had a tough time covering Mr. Rogers because he'd often befriend them, ask them tons of questions, take pictures of them, compile an album for them at the end of their time together, and then call them afterwards to check in on them and hear about their families. He genuinely loved hearing the life stories of other people. And it wasn't just reporters. Like once on a fancy trip up to a PBS executive's house, he heard the limo driver was going to have to wait outside for 2 hours, so Mr. Rogers insisted that the driver come in and join them. And then, on the way back, Rogers sat up front, and when he learned that they were passing the driver's house on the way, he asked if they could stop in to meet the family. And according to the driver, it was one of the best nights of his life. The house lit up when Rogers arrived, and he played jazz piano and bantered with them late into the night. Okay, so thieves, Smithsonian...
It's amazing. I'm so happy that this is a positive video. I'm really, really glad. So, you know, we've not heard any negative things, and I'm not particularly surprised because, like I said, he just seems so genuine, and interesting that he said he was so interested in just hearing about other people's lives. I think that would have made him ideal to be a minister, wouldn't it? Really.
Curators, reporters, limo drivers, kids, all these people love Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
But someone has to hate him, right? Well, LSU professor Don Chance certainly doesn't love his legacy. He believes that Mr. Rogers created a, quote, culture of excessive doting, which resulted in generations of lazy, entitled college students. And that makes sense, because generally the deterioration of culture can be traced back to a single public television program. Other curious theories about Mr. Rogers that are all over the internet: that he served in the Army and was a sniper in Vietnam, that he served in the Army and was a sniper in Korea, that he only wore sweaters to cover up the tattoos on his arms. These are all untrue.
I mean, if he was wearing his cardigans to cover up a tattoo, that would make me like him even more. Nothing wrong with tattoos. It's art. It's adorning the body. Why would you make stuff up like that about poor Mr. Rogers just to discredit him? You can't win. You can't please everybody, can you? But come on, Mr. Rogers must have come so close, like more close than anyone, to trying to please everybody, because what could you not like? So he's responsible, him alone, Mr. Rogers, solely is responsible, apparently, according to this chap, didn't catch his name, background character. According to this guy, yeah, he is solely responsible for a generation of lazy, coddled children, now adults, presumably. I don't think that's fair at all. I'm sure many of you agree. I don't think that's fair. I think that wasn't his message. I think his message was, it's okay to just be you. You don't have to be any more than that, because you're loved for being you. And but it's that validity of just being accepted and loved. And it's such a freeing thing to hear, to listen to, especially, or maybe, I don't know, maybe more so as an adult hearing that. It's, I don't know, it releases something, like all of these burdens that you carry about not feeling like you're good enough. And that is such an unfair thing to say about Mr. Rogers.
Was never in the Army, he never shot anyone, he had no tattoos. One other rumor we'd like to quash: that he used to chase kids off his porch at Halloween. That's crazy. In fact, his house was known for being one of those generous homes that give out full-sized candy bars, because of course it was. In fact, for all the myths people want to create about him, Mr. Rogers seems to have been almost exactly the same person off-screen as he was on-screen. As an ordained Presbyterian minister and a man of tremendous faith, Mr. Rogers preached tolerance first. He never engaged in the culture wars. All he would ever say is, God loves you just the way you are.
That is incredibly interesting. I was going to chat a little bit about that. So from what I have seen, the clips of Mr. Rogers talking and chatting away to people, I think I may have heard him reference God maybe once or twice, but in a very, how do I word this? In a very kind of neutral kind of way. But to the point where I wasn't actually sure whether he was particularly religious, or what religion, or whether he was very Christian, or I could not have made that assumption, because he directly references, I'm assuming he's a Christian. I don't think he references it that much. I'm trying, maybe I'm not articulating that very well. Just very tolerant, like we say here, of whatever anyone believes. If you believe, whatever your religion is, whatever cultural background you're from, he doesn't really, he speaks so openly. Am I making sense?
He was also kind of a superhero. Like, when the government wanted to cut public television funds in 1969, the then relatively unknown Mr. Rogers went to Washington, and almost like straight out of a Capra film, his testimony on how TV had the potential to give kids hope and create more productive citizens was so passionate and convincing that even the most gruff politicians were charmed. And instead of cutting the budget, funding for public TV jumped from $9 million to $22 million. Years later, Mr. Rogers also swayed the Supreme Court to allow VCRs to record television television shows from home. It was a cantankerous debate at the time, but his argument was that recording a program like his allowed working parents to sit down with their children and watch shows as a family. Plus, it allowed him to watch Captain Stubing on the Love Boat anytime he wanted without having to stay up till 8:30 p.m. It was also heavily parodied, but most of the people who made fun of him loved him. Like Johnny Carson hoped his send-up of the neighborhood would make Mr. Rogers more famous, and the first time Eddie Murphy met Mr. Rogers, he couldn't stop himself from giving the guy a big hug. All right.
Oh, really? I love Eddie Murphy. That's adorable. You know what, let me know in the comments, guys, if you're aware of anyone besides that chap mentioned earlier who maintains that they didn't like Mr. Rogers. And, you know, I think even if you found certain personality traits about him, you know, if they reminded you of all the people that you didn't like in your past or whatever it is, just, I don't know, like characteristics that you didn't particularly warm to. I can't imagine why, but let's say you did. I think it wouldn't be enough to dislike the man and the messages that he was preaching and the teachings and the work that he did for children's services and television. You just could not dislike. I don't think you could. You just couldn't. So if you know of anyone that still maintains to this day or was very anti Mr. Rogers, do let me know, guys, because there has to be so few of these people around, and I'd love to hear their reasoning, because how could you dislike him?
Running out of time, so let's speed this up. Mr. Rogers was colorblind. I mean that figuratively, like his parents took in African-American foster children and he loved people of all backgrounds equally, but also literally. Michael Keaton got his start on the show. He was a puppeteer and worked the trolley. Mr. Rogers once made a guest appearance on Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman as a pastor's mentor, and many of the characters on his show took their names from his family, like McFeely was his grandfather's name. Queen Sarah is named for his wife. And lastly, we return to the salon, so I can tell you probably my favorite story about Mr. Rogers, that he could make a whole New York City subway car full of strangers sing. He was rushing to a meeting and there were no cabs available, so Mr. Rogers jumped on the subway. The car was full of people. Rogers assumed that he wouldn't be noticed, but he quickly was, of course. And then people burst into song, chanting, "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood." Thanks for watching Mental Floss, which is made with the help of all of these lovely people. And remember that you make every day special just by being you. If you have a fascinating question you've always wanted the answer to, submit it in comments and we'll try to start answering them here at the end of the video in April. In the meantime, don't forget to be awesome.
I'll try and be awesome. Thank you, Mental Floss. Oh, that was an awesome video. I'll have to catch some more from that channel. He got an entire carriage of people singing along on the subway. He's just a darling. He is. I think that he broke the mold. They don't make him like that. I don't think we'll ever see another Mr. Rogers, but this was so lovely to watch because, like I say, you know, I was a bit reluctant to go researching into Mr. Rogers. It's like that saying, never meet your idols. You just, most of the time it ends in disappointment, doesn't it? Because we have like high expectations and we put these celebrities and idols on a pedestal, and that's difficult, you know, for them to kind of uphold these unrealistic standards that we all have for them. So naturally, yeah, I was a little bit worried that there was going to be some kind of scandal or something involving Mr. Rogers. I'm yet to hear one, so I can still happily maintain that he is a gorgeously wonderful person, and you know, his legacy speaks for itself, really. It's gorgeous. I love watching these clips. I feel like I'd happily just sit through watching episode after episode. And my inner child would be just watching it with a big smile, like, oh my gosh. So, oh, this is lovely to watch. Thank you so much, Eric. This has brightened my day. Gosh, I love Mr. Rogers so much. I hope you enjoyed watching along with me, guys. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.